In order to find the area of a trapezoid, you must do the following steps. Find the average of the bases. In other words, add the lengths of the bases together and divide by 2. Multiply the result by of A by the height of the trapezoid. So let's just, for terminology's sake, make sure we know physically what we're talking about here. This is one of the bases, this is the other. It doesn't matter what you call 1 and 2. I'll just call that 1 and 2. This is our height. So for the two bases B1 and B2 and the height h, this is saying I don't know the values, but we'll just call them B1 and B2 and h. Write an expression that represents the area of a trapezoid. An expression. So another thing to think about expressions is they're generalized ways of having numbers, operations, and variables together. They do not have equal signs in them. So let's walk through our steps. So the first thing we do, and maybe we can think about it like a machine. So we put in our B1, our B2, and our H. And so the first thing we do is average bases, and then we take whatever comes out of that, and we do times height, and out comes area. Right? So you can think of it like a machine flowing down. And so so we take B1 and average it with B2. So that means I add the lengths of the bases together, divide by 2. We take that whole thing and multiply it by the height. You might also see this represented is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. And you'll find that dividing by 2 and multiplying by half are the same thing. If I take a half of something, it's the same as if I'm splitting into 2 even parts. But in terms of what we're given, that would be a solution. So now that I have this expression, evaluate the expression for a trapezoid if the height is 12 and the bases are 9 and 33. So what we're saying here is evaluate if h is 12, b1 is 9, b2 is 33. Again, b1, b2 could be switched. So I'm going to plug them in. Where I see b1, I'm going to put 9 plus b2, which is 33, divided by 2, all times my height, which is 12. So let's put this in the calculator now. Sorry again, this thing seems to stop a lot. New. Alright, so 9 plus 33. So let me get my parentheses ready. 9 plus 33, and I want that whole thing to be divided by 2. I don't just want the 33 to be divided by 2, which was what would happen if I didn't put the parentheses around the 9 plus 3. So whenever you have something in the numerator or the denominator that's a whole thing, you need to put parentheses around it. So now I have that whole thing, and then all that whole thing times the height. So I get 252 units squared, square units. And so that's it. That would be, if those bases are that and the height is that, the expression would yield this, which would be the area of that trapezoid. So big ideas, evaluating expressions, being able to write rules by, just this idea of I have inputs that go into certain processes, and then there's output that comes out of it. And input-output, we're going to go through, this is going to be a very prominent theme throughout algebra, so I wanted to make sure you started to get familiar with it.